Good morning, everyone. I am not ready, but we're starting anyway. So, I've been running around wild this morning, trying to get prepared for the stream. Today is my day off, and so therefore I have a little less. Whoops, hold on, let me raise this back up. I shot some videos last night. Yeah, I'm not ready. Um, I shot a couple of unboxing videos last night. And if y'all paid attention, you will know what the knives I was excited about getting yesterday were. And if not, you will see them in just a few minutes. Um, Want to start out like we always do, showing what I carried last night. I don't know what's going on with everything this morning. I don't know. I'm kind of frazzled. So this is one of the new knives I got yesterday, and I carried it to work. This is a Migron Miro. Um, One of the best front flipping knives, or the easiest front flipping knives, with a sick hollow ground blade. Um, I got this from my buddy who is actually a Migron dealer. Got a really good deal on it, along with the other two that I received yesterday that we will talk about here shortly. So there's what I had in my front pocket. And then in my back pocket, I had that buck. I believe it's the 840 Sprint Select, Sprint something. Sprint, yeah, maybe it's a Sprint Select. I don't know. It's the 840 Sprint something. But it's that buck that the guy gave me for free. So I took it last night to see how it was. And I did actually do some cutting with it. And it was fairly sharp. Uh it didn't just completely stink. Uh but that this one brings me into my next topic, which was what I received yesterday. And actually, before we even get to that, I'm going to show another knife that I received yesterday before we get to the main event. And that is on, well, can't find it, of course. All right, here it is. It is a new knife, the Bridgeport Brody LL. It's not Brody, it's Bodie. I don't know why I said Brody. Uh, Thinking of Point Break. Isn't that his name in Point Break? But yes, this is the Bodie LL. I got this one on pre-order. They actually had it. They had two versions, and I ordered both of them. But the guy that runs the company thought I made a mistake, and so he only sent me one of them. And I was like, no, I really wanted both of them, but it was kind of pointless. Uh, to get both of them because the only difference was a black wash blade, which we can do tomorrow if I decide to, um, and a black clip, which we can also do. But yes, this is a super cool little knife from Bridgeport, and the OEM on it is Kubi. So it basically feels like a nice titanium Kubi. It is very fidget friendly, as you can see. It's got. I love flippers only if they're pretty much in a little cutout like this in the corner where they're flush with the back of the scales. I don't like flippers that stick out and look ugly because when this one flips around, it doesn't stick out. And that's because they inset it right here in the corner. And then it's also got a front flipper, neither of which I opened right because I'm kind of preoccupied here with something in my other hand. Anyway, very fidget friendly. Uh, The jimping on it is perfect. Great jimping. Just enough to grab, but not too overly aggressive. Works great on the front flipper. Uh, Continues all the way down the knife a good little ways. Great for reverse flick. This one actually has 14C 28N blade steel. And like I said, the other version. Good morning, Gaming Sandals. Let's go straight to the website and I'll show you the other version. Let's see here. Bridgeport knife. I can't type this morning. Oh my goodness. Bridgeport Knife Co. I actually have this 1827 FL. I pre-ordered this one. Like I said, I ordered both of them, the black washed blade and the stone wash blade. Not much different. The pivot color, the clip color, and the blade being dark washed, black washed. About the only difference. Sweet little knife. Like I said, I just got it in yesterday. It's a 3.3 inch blade. It's actually a little longer than that, I believe, if I remember my unboxing. One cool thing with it is it has a T10 pivot and T8 body screws. And when I say screws, it barely even has, it just has one on each side, which gives it a super clean look. Reasonable price. And as we talk about the other topic that was in the description of the video later, we will have to start ordering knives like this until they run out of stock. If you're a fan of Chinese knives. Whoops. I did not mean to click that button. Sorry about that. So anyway, as we go back over here, yeah, I like the dark wash too, but since we're doing acid washing and stone washing tomorrow, I can always do that myself to this blade. So even though I ordered both of them and didn't get them, that's okay, because I really didn't need two of them, and I have a problem with ordering too many knives, as y'all can see. I get deliveries just about every day. And then the main two that I was excited about getting yesterday were these two. And that is the new Arma XL from Migron and the new DLC version of the Get On. Still addicted? You getting you one? Nice. Yeah, it's a sweet, sweet little knife. Did you get the black washed or did you get the stone washed? I'm gonna guess you got the stone washed. Before you let me know. It feels really good. Like I said, the jimping on it is very good. Yeah, cool knife. But the stars of the show are these two. We will start with the one that has already been released for a while. It's not got anything different except the new DLC blade. I'm not sure who they are using for the DLC, but it looks decent quality. And it's got a PVD coating on the scales, which is cool. I was kind of confused by the listing. I thought it was one of those Chinese listings where they just throw a bunch of words in. So when I did my unboxing video, I was confused for a minute, but I figured it out through the video that the scales are PVD coated and the blade is DLC coated. So this is it. Super cool knife with a nice satin hollow grind. One of the coolest things about this knife is something you can't see, and we will look at that shortly, but I don't know if you can tell how thick that boy is. But it is a beefy boy. There's a regular knife, and there is it. They did an awesome job on the internal milling. The PMP Alpha Beast weighs nearly 17 ounces, and this one is 11. Actually, it weighs more than 17. It's 6 ounces more than this one, which is more than half the weight. So uh, the fact that they were able to shave that much weight makes it feel like a much lighter knife. I mean, it's still 11 ounces, but it doesn't feel like it looks. I'll tell you that much. And we'll get into it, and I'll show you what's a cool thing about the inside of the milling here in a minute. After we look at the real star of the show, which is the new one, and that is the Arma XL with DLC. So this one is a flat grind, whereas the Get On is a hollow grind. But this thing is a chonker. It is over 0.8 inches thick. I have large hands and it feels great in my hand, but it's a sizable knife. I mean, it's a beast. Like, you don't get these knives. Um, well, you just get these knives after you've been collecting a while, I guess. I mean, they're very usable. On my unboxings last night, I actually did a cut test with both of them, and it just needed a little bit of a stropping. And even though that blade is it's a third of an inch thick, it's over a quarter of an inch thick. I stropped it a couple of times, and it came right back. Got a good edge on it, even as thick as it is. Um, yes, it looks very similar to the Kunwu. Um, I wouldn't be surprised if they got it at the same, got it done by the same people. Have my fingerprints on it, but even the blade is that thick, it is still sharp, and so is the Get On. Um, heck of a blades, heck of a blade though. But yes, they're both sharp. The Let me just show you a Kunwu next to it so you can kind of compare the DLC and you can kind of compare the size. Um, I've got the Django XL somewhere back here. That's not it. That's not it. Where is it? There it is. All right. So it's not quite as mirror. I don't think it's quite as mirror polished as the Kunwu. Kunwu, their DLC is something else. Of course, that's why they're making a watch also, because of how nice it looks. Let me get them both cleaned off really good so you can see them side by side. So here we go. Let's see if I can get a comparison here. So the Kunwu looks to be a little darker. I'm trying to get the same kind of shadows on them. Kind of depends on how the light is hitting it, but they look very similar. But when I lay them, the Kunwu seems just a little darker. I don't know if you can tell that in this lighting, but it looks a little shinier also. So I'm not sure. I'm going to let somebody else that has more money and more sponsors take a key or something to this new DLC, because I don't want to do that to my knives yet. If they were donated to me, I might. But as far as size goes, you can see that the Django XL there is dwarfed by these other two boys. And then Another knife, let's see. Where's that at? That would be in a whole different case. Under the they're going, as you can see on this one, they're going this way with the hollow grind. There's not really lines on the Kunwu per se. There are a little bit of lines, and they're going, this way with the blade. This one is the same. There are slight lines. It looks like they've, sanded it that direction. Probably how they sharpened it or ground it down. Give me just a second. I'm going to show you another knife to compare it to. I've got to reach over here and grab another case. Oh my gosh, this case is heavy. I did this in the video last night, but I've already put them back up. So let's see, where are we? We are right here. All right. Morning, folks. This is the Arma original one instead of the XL. Yeah, after I take it apart, I could scratch it by the pivot to check it out. And that's something I wanted to show y'all. We're going to do that in just a second. But you can see the XL is quite a bit beefier than the original. This does not look like a 4-inch blade and a 5-inch handle, but it is. It's over 9.25 inches long, and the stats on it were a little wrong. It's this one shows the stats as it being longer, but I believe this one is just a tad bit longer. But I don't know. They're pretty equal. But let's get into one of them. I guess I'll pick the Arma since it's the new one. I wanted to show y'all. So the pivot and screws on this one, this is a T15 on the pivot, and these are T10s on the body screws on both of these. T15 and T10s. So it's the day of the big screws. This one had the T10 and the T8s on the Bodie. So manufacturers are wising up and realizing we like bigger torques. And they're giving it to us. So let me see if I can find a T15 and a T10, because that's not something I just normally keep on hand. But I know I do have them. Let me get out my little magnetic kit here. All right, there's that. And then I believe that's a 15. Yep, that's a 15. And that's a 10. All right, so let's start with the 10s. All right, I'm going to leave the clip on it. Whoops. All right, there's one screw. If y'all can see me. Get some stuff out of the way a little bit for me. There's the other one. Whoops, got to hold this side of it. And then the T15. All right. Now this is what I wanted to show you. People underestimate Migron and how well they're manufactured. But I want you to tell me. Yeah, I got both of these. I just have them loaded up with T8s and T6s. I've actually got some some T-handle, red handle T drivers that are T15 and T20, but like these right here, hold on, I'm trying to reach over. I probably could have found these too because I bought a bunch of these. The actual size, I just don't remember which ones are which. This is heck, I don't know. It's hard to read these little numbers. Oh, it probably says it on it somewhere. That's a T8. I don't know why I had that one up. Out. This is a T15 right here. But these you can get a lot of levers with these little red ones. All right. Back to what I was showing you. So as I was talking about Migron, so this is something I've never seen in any other manufacturer. And when they did the weight reduction milling, they actually milled decorative lines on the bottom of them and put a little chamfer around the bottom edge. And it's very thought out with the curved shapes. When you get to doing milling like this, you're very confident in your CNC workers. Instead of just, a lot of places just make squared off blocks. They don't put these nice curves. They don't think about where to leave thick lines for the structural stability of the knife. And then they surely don't mill the bottom of them with a pattern like the outside. That is a nice touch to me and shows how high quality Migron is trying to be and to accomplish with their knives. But I have opened lots of knives and I've never seen the bottoms milled out like that. Super cool. So yeah, it's got it had a little oil on it. You can see it's got some oil. I didn't clean that off last night. I noticed that these bearings, as I was talking about in my other videos, they had these bearings. I don't know if it's the machine they used. I don't know if they use a machine to load all this on there to assemble them. I don't know. It's probably assembled by hand. I'm sure they are. But they had one of these flipped over, like I was talking about. They had the open side facing up away from the blade, and I like the open side facing the blade. So they had them both put on there the same way. So I flipped one of them when I did the unboxing, or when I did a disassembly. I don't know when I did that. Maybe I just did that to check them out. Oh, I did that at work last night. That's right. Something else cool I noticed is where the stop pin goes, they have put some kind of, I don't know what they've done actually. It's almost like they put another kind of metal down in there. They polished it. I don't know, but it looks different than just a normal hole. They've done something in the bottom of both of these holes. And I don't know if you can see it on camera there. But it's got just a little bit of a different look, and I don't know exactly what they've done. But both sides of the stop pin hole are like that. Yeah, the milling on the inside, though, is an extra touch. So yeah, this does not have a D-shaped pivot. On it does on this side where I take that back. It does have a D-shaped pivot, but it's only where it clicks into the scales on this side. So it does hold it over there and keep it from moving, but it doesn't come through to the other side. So when you're reassembling, you don't have to really worry about that. One thing you do have to worry about when reassembling is getting that stop pin put back in place. And then, of course, I just rotated the pivot a little bit so that D-shaped on this side fell out of place. So let's try that again. I think, let me just take it back apart here and do it the right way. I'll show you what I was talking about. So, well, there goes the back spacer. There's a D shape. Hold on before I lose everything. So just right here on the edge of the pivot, there's a little D-shaped part right over here, and that catches on this side of the when it's recessed, it catches right in here in this groove. So you have to turn this a certain way, and then it'll fall into place. Um, and that's probably with the logo facing the right way. Which, of course, now I can't get it to fall into place. Um, there it goes. So it'll sit flush once that little flat part drops in. And once again, with the bearings, there's an open side, and then there's a closed side, and then there's that open side. And I like having the open side face the blade. And like I was talking about, um, they had both of them facing the same direction. So this one is open side is facing up. They had this one on the other side of the blade facing like that, and I just like them both the same way. And it's a preference thing. But with some tolerances, I've noted the centering. I know they're the same thickness either way, but for some reason, the way they sit in some of these channels and go up against the scales and stuff, it matters, and it can make the knife off center a little bit. So that's just what I've chosen to do. Um, this the back spacer on the Get On has a pin, a locating pin, to help keep the back spacer in, but the one on the Arma does not. So when you're reassembling it, you can just get the pivot and the pin. The tolerances, I think when I took it apart, I put this pin back in the other way. In fact, let me fix that now. Because I think it was milled and goes in these holes easier if you put it one way besides the other. Let me check real quick. Which side fits in this side easier. So that one fits pretty good. That should be it. All right, let's make sure that's flat over there. There we go. Looks good. Well, it looked good there for a second. All right, that looks good. Put the pivot surround in. Put the pivot in. Now the lock is fighting me, of course. All right, I'm just going to get this one mostly in just to hold it together there. All right, everything looks good up there so far. And like I said, there's no locating pin, so we can just slide this in after the fact and get one of these pushed through from the other side. It's always easier to take one of your screwdrivers to line up those holes. I usually use the T6. Let me see what I got going on here. Can you see there it goes. You can push one of them through to help line up. Now that one's lined up. That one's good. Went all the way through. So we will get that screw kind of started to get it just holding itself in place a little bit. Yeah, that internal milling was cool. When I saw that, I was like, wow. Because the Miro does not have that. It does have weight reduction milling, but the bottoms of the little pockets are not milled. Milled for your comfort. Oh, yeah, the T6, these seem to fit good down through holes like that. That one lined right up. We're good to go. Get this hand tight, then we'll finish tightening everything up. All right, that one's hand tight. Centering looks right. Let me get this one tight. I've not looked at the chat in a while. Hope y'all are talking amongst yourselves. Trying to get this finished real quick, then I can look at the chat. I have managed to not scratch this one or touch the bit to anything it shouldn't touch to so far, so that's good. All right, now I can look at the chat. Knives are live. What's up, buddy? JD, How's it going? $300. You've got a ton of options in knives. Let's see which one of those is the big one. That's that one. I could name you 100 good knives for $300. The Eclipse, is it one of those like $400 the KB Kubies? I haven't seen it. Yeah, we looked at the Kubi site a couple of times. I might have seen it. We'll go look at it. Yeah, I think they're overpricing some of those KB knives just because they already charge a couple of $100 for some of their normal Kubi knives. So when they started this new, more exclusive brand, the KB, whatever, I think they just have to justify the reason behind it. So they're making some $350 and $400 knives. Uh, the Kubi code doesn't work anymore. Knives are life. At least not in my. I haven't gotten it to work recently. Uh, let's go check it out. It's the Eclipse. Is that what you said? The Eclipse. Yeah, I haven't gotten the Kubi code to work for the last like month and a half. Yes, I have seen it. It's a $400 one, and that's the one I would get. I'm going to test that because maybe it just didn't work with the knives I picked, but I don't think that code works at the moment. But let's check it out. So I'm just going to type in Kubi, and we're going to add 2 or 3 random Kubis. We're going to add. We're going to add a $72 one. I've already got 2 in the cart. That's kind of how I know it doesn't work because I already did this the other day. We're going to add a random. I'm just trying to add some random ones in there. Um, they're all $72. All right, here's a $64 one. Let's add that one. And then let's go to the cart and see if it works on any one of those 3. So I'm going to remove the DM10 code that I had in there. All I could get to work recently was the 10% codes. So KUVY, apply. It's been disabled, so it can't be used. So that really sucks because I was buying quite a few knives using that code. I bought a ton of knives. It's only been about the last month or so that this code quit working. Um, I bought a bunch of titanium knives from Kubi using that code and got them for like $67. Sever7, welcome. In fact, let me see if I can log in real quick to my account. Let's see. I don't know my code, but I don't know my password. It's got to be something like this. So you can see where I ordered a bunch of titanium ones. So like this one right here, this was with the code Kobe, brought the Hyperion down to $100. Um, there's the Supercell. It was $200. Brought it down to $135. Um, here's here's the Interflow. It was $176. Kubi code brought it down to 118. And then I really liked these $76.50, I think it was. Titius. There's not an I in the middle. Titius. So yeah, I bought a bunch of these 6750 knives. I mean, that was the best value ever. Like this one right here. Uh, there's a Titius. $100 minus 32.50, 67.50. That's the best value knife on the planet. But yeah, the Kubi code's not working anymore. I wish it was. So KB Knives won't deliver to New York. That sucks. JD, the Para 3 is a great knife, but you can get one of those a lot cheaper than $300. Um, if I was gonna get a $300 knife, I will come up with a list of 10 or so good knives for around $300. If you'd like me to, you're welcome to email me, Blade Alchemy, the number 4 and the letter U at gmail.com. There's my PM3. I didn't want just a standard steel, so I got this one in Maximet, and then I bought these scales off of Knife Swap. They were barely used at all. Yeah, I put this one together for probably $180, $175, and I love it. Um, the Clydesdale's a cool knife, and then I would have put new scales on this one, but this is a blue. This is an exclusive from somewhere because it's got Spy 27 steel. It was I don't know if it's Knife Center or Blade HQ or somebody, but this blue is only available with this steel in the PM2. And this pivot screw is stripped and Loctited, and I'm going to have to drill it out and get a new pivot set in order to change these scales. So that's why I haven't changed it. I do prefer to change my scales out on my Spydercos. The Shaman, if I was going to suggest a Spyderco to you, though, it would be a Shaman. It's my favorite overall Spyderco. I like it a lot better than the PM2 or PM3. And it's mainly just because of the hump. And this one I did a mod on to where I denippled it. Shamans normally have a nipple that sticks out right here, and when you close it, it hits your finger. And so I did a mod to where I got it to where I ground down that part to where it doesn't hit your finger, and it also makes the lines look better than that little nipple sticking out on the Shaman. I wanted to do the jimping to continue the jimping on up it right there to where it was even on both sides, because you can see the jimping goes up higher on this side. I wanted to do the same on my mod side. But yeah, if I was going to suggest a Spyderco, it'd be the Shaman. Uh, I don't know where my towel went to wipe off the oil. Oh, here it is. How do you measure your pivot screws for replacement? I would say buy you a nice pair of $20 Amazon, these stainless steel Amazon calipers. I will give you a link to them, but all you have to do is type in stainless steel caliper, and they should pop right up on Amazon. They have some. I have a bunch of pairs of those, and in fact, I got another set sitting right over here beside me. These right here are only like $10, but it's worth the extra money to get this nice stainless steel. And these are plastic, and they're not bad, but these are better. Uh, These are definitely better. But a pair of calipers is what I use to measure everything. But let me show you real quick how easy it is to find. I bet it's the first thing that pops up if we go to Amazon and type in stainless steel uh, caliper calipers. So yeah, right there, the top one, the overall pick, is the one that I suggest to people. If you're going to get a set of calipers, buy them once. You don't have to buy them again. Comes with a nice case to protect them. Comes with extra batteries and a little screwdriver to take apart the battery tray. And that's what I would use to measure pivots. Well, okay. So there's only a couple of measurements that you need on a pivot. Um, let me take apart this Kaiser really quick and show you how I would measure it. And I don't know, somebody else can chime in if they got a better way. But usually they're going to give you two measurements. They're going to give you the overall width of the pivot or diameter of the pivot, and then they're going to give you a length of the pivot. And they may give you the heads. I don't know if they give you the head size. A couple sites I've gone to have only had those two measurements. I usually try to buy replacement pivots from the manufacturer if I can. We is really good at doing that. They got really good customer service. And Migron is the same way. They'll send you for $8. They'll send you a new pivot and screw set. Wow, this pivot. I picked the wrong knife. Why is that pivot not coming out? That's crazy. Well, I can just show you here. So I would say, oh, I'm an idiot. It's got screws on both sides. No wonder the pivot's not coming out. Duh. All right. So you got a pivot, just like the. Camera's not even on. You idiot. All right. I just took apart this Kaiser to show you this pivot. I couldn't get the pivot out. Yes, Shaman over the Mannix, and I've got both. This is a Mannix too. I don't like this serrated blade, but I like the scales, and I got a really good deal on it, so I grabbed it. But yes, I like the Shaman over the Mannix. It's got a little bit more blade length. I just like the total overall shape of the handle better. The rounded, it's more comfortable in your palm back here. The Mannix kind of drops off a little more. It's not as comfortable, but that's just my opinion. So anyway, back to the pivot. So you got the pivot that goes across. You got two measurements. You want to measure the width, the diameter of the pivot. So you want to take your pivot and use your calipers and lay them straight down and go straight like this and get that measurement right there. And so this is probably in millimeters, so I'm going to switch to millimeters and see if we get right pretty close to a standard size. If they're not in millimeters, you can use the inch part. But right here, it says 4.98. It actually says it's right at 5 millimeters. So that would be one of your measurements. And then the other one is from, this one actually has little shoulders to where it goes in each side of the liners. It's got little shoulders on both sides. So you would measure between those two shoulders, right? I can't get it on there. It's magnetic. It's got oil on it. I'm not sure. So that says 5.5. So I would say that's a 5 by 5.5 pivot. And the total length of it, I'm not sure. Like I said, I usually get my pivots from the manufacturer, so I don't know if they measure it from end to end or not. But if they did, that's 7.75. So you can usually take these measurements, and when you get close, you'll see something that matches what you've measured. If you go to a site that sells pivots, like what's that one site that everybody uses on Reddit? Does anybody know what the name of that site is? But see, this says 0.005 of an inch. And then it said 5 millimeters. I don't know. I don't think I zeroed it out right. Let me see. Let me try this again. Lengthwise, 7.75 in millimeters. Oh, there we go. 0.305. And if you have to convert that to a fraction, some of them show fractions. Still addicted. See you later, man. But yeah, you just want the diameter of the pivot and the length of the pivot. And it's not, there's a few sites that actually sell parts like that. And there's a good one on AliExpress that sells knife parts. Cannot think offhand. I've got it bookmarked as a favorite store. I will get back to you in just a second. We will go try to figure that out. But there's a few knife parts stores. And of course, this one's a D-shaped pivot. I picked the wrong one to take apart. But it's D-shaped on both sides. And it's got screws on both sides. So it's a different kind of pivot. A lot of pivots, one side is built into the pivot. So this is not one of those. And this one has D-shaped on both sides. Let me throw this one back together really quick. Did I lose that washer? I sure hope not. Did it have a washer? It did not have a washer because it's metal. The other side is not metal, so it did have a washer. Let me throw this knife back together real quick. Stop pin is in that side. Boom, boom, boom. Back together. Pivot back in. Let me see if I can find those knife part stores here in just a second. Let me get this last screw back in. Where did my other... There it is. All right. Pies are back together and centered. Good to go. All right, so there was a store. Let's see. There's the knife part store that I wouldn't order from unless you're so there's a couple of stores. This USAKnifemaker.com has a lot of parts. And when you're buying pivots, see a lot of them are in inches, so you have to convert. Well, actually these have the fraction mode too. So it said 0.3, 0.03 something, or 0.3. Yeah, it said 0.30 of an inch, I believe. So it said somewhere around it. Now I'm showing the camera again. I'm showing the calipers again and no camera. So when it was like this, it has the decimal, but you can also switch it to the fraction. So that says 5/16 on a little smaller, probably be 1/4 inch. Anyway, these calipers will show you the number and the fraction and millimeters. So you should be able to get that fraction that website was going by. But a lot of the American websites, they quote an American, like this one says 3/16 by 0.750. This one says 1/8 by 0.375. So the two numbers are going to be, the first number is going to be the diameter of the shaft. The second number is going to be the length. So I don't know why they didn't convert that second number to a fraction. But they didn't. So the first number will be the diameter of it. The second one is the length. And see how this one says shoulder? It tells you how big that shoulder size is. But this knife, USA Knife Kits is another one. And USA Knife Maker. This Knife Kits is a great site. They have all the parts you need. Let's see. Pivots. Here's pivots. And again, this one, the thing I like about theirs is they have the decimal and the fraction. And quarter, let's see. The pivot size on this one, it'll tell you right here, barrel diameter, barrel length. And then the Torx fitting. But those sites, this one has a ton of different pivots. These are for people building their own knives, and they have all kinds of parts. But there's a site on, there's a store on AliExpress that just sells knife parts. And let me see if I can just type in a search. And remember the name of the store. So it's not DL, it's not any of those. That Sunny Life sounds familiar, but I don't think that's it either. That might be one of them. Let me see if I can remember the name of it here. EDC, L Cousins is one of them right here. This store right here, L Cousins store is one of the good knife part stores. And they sell scale material. Bearings, clips, screws, pivots, all kinds of stuff. But L Cousins is one of them. And then the other one is, let me see if I can go down through here, remember, see it too. I think there's one actually better than L Cousins. I could log into my, oh yeah, right here, Ty-Seek. Ty-Seek is the other one. And I think it's actually better than L Cousins. But it's Tyseek. So this is where you can buy sheets of micarta. You can buy pivots. You can buy Damascus blade steel, different patterns. You can buy sheath foam. You can buy blank steel for making knives. You can buy handle, like all kinds of handle materials, clips, screws, pivots, blade steel, mosaic rivets, sheath accessory, how to make your own sheath, do-it-yourself wood materials, handle material, ball bearings and washers. This is the best store. There's guards for making a knife. There's guards, uh, screwdrivers, and different tools that you need. But yeah, the Thai Sikh store is where it's the secret store that not many people know about, and it's TYSEEK. So I hope that helps you out. I'm just trying to pass on some knowledge, some useless knowledge that I've gotten uh, over my time. But if what was his name, JD? If you're still here, definitely send me an email, and I will send you a list of my favorite. Or if you give me a few things that you like, knives that you like, I'll try to cater a list of like 10 knives that are around $300 or less to recommend to you. I have no problem doing that. I enjoy talking knives and helping people with knives. Part of the reason we're doing this whole live every day is to get some people some help. Uh, so yeah, back to the big chunky knives. Crazy how big they are. I got a super good deal. Like I said, I'm a friend. I got a friend who's a Migron authorized dealer. So I don't know if I should get. Well, it won't matter. Right now, right now, I believe these are only available on the Migron site, and I believe the Get On is showing 359, so we'll say 360. And I believe the Arma XL is showing 350, 349. So together they would be $710 if you bought them from the Migron store, and I got them both for 550. So if anybody needs to hook up on some Migrons, I've got the hookup. It's about 25% off. That helps. I got the Miro. I think I paid 160. It might have been 165, but there's no tax on that either. I'm not sure. I think it's about 219 on Amazon. Let's check it out. Miro knife, 205 at the moment. Typically 215. Yeah, I thought it was around that. So if we hit run and open the calculator and type 165 divided by 215, we get 0.76. So I got about 20, nearly 25% off on it too. Uh, but that adds up. Plus, you don't have to pay the tax. So here I pay a 10% sales tax. So that adds another $21 on to that 215. So it turns it into 236. So really, I would need to do 165 divided by 236, and that's 0.69. So I actually saved 31%, which is a lot. He's got a Nagain. I almost bought one of those too. That's the last one I need, or not the last one I need, but that's one I need for my Migron collection. Um, Send me a message, Sever7, uh, on Instagram or through my email, wherever. Yeah, I've got a Moyarl and now I've got a Miro, so I just need the Nagain. I've got the Arma, the Prayer, which was on my unboxing video. It's actually the same length as the XL, which really surprised me. Arma, the Prayer, the Gladiator 2, the Glear 2, the Ekri, the Acri, the Vane, the Moyarl. Uh, I don't think I'm leaving any out. Let me see. The Moyarl is a nice knife. That's one of my favorites. Seems like I've got one more, but maybe not. Oh yeah, I do. The Kovog. Kovog. There's the Kovog right there. The Acri and the Ekri are nice. Um, but the plain time Moyarl, however you say it, is a super cool knife. Yeah, the Glear, the Glear and the Gladiator. The Vane is one of the best crossbar locks knives in the game. I would put it up against the drop bear as far as smoothness, and it's got that milling. It looks so cool. That's the Vane. And then the Glear and the Gladiator basically look the same. They just have different blade shapes, and they're a little. So the Glear is the blue one, and the Gladiator is the bronze one. And the difference is one of them's a flipper, and one of them's a front flipper. So the Gladiator has a clip point, and the Glear has a straight back. I like the Glear. I need to do a flipper tab delete on it. I just haven't yet. And funny story, before I had done much research on these, I bought this Gladiator on eBay, and he had it listed as a Glear. And since I knew the shape was kind of similar, I just wasn't really paying attention. I bought it, and then once I got it, I realized what it was. And so I messaged the guy. I was like, dude, you listed this as I acted like I was buying it as a gift for somebody. And I told him that he sold me the wrong knife. And so I got like half off. He refunded me half my money. This is the Prayer, Preyer. It's another cool Migron. I didn't even know it existed until I found it. It's got a crazy blade grind. You can see on the front there. It's got 4 actual grinds instead of 3 like a lot of them do. Um, but yeah, overall length. This is actually the same length as the Arma XL, pretty much. I mean, they're real close. Are y'all looking forward to learning how to acid wash and stone wash tomorrow? I haven't decided what knives we're gonna do, but the if it's a Migron, no. I just went through all my Migrons. Are you talking about the Currix? I didn't even know there's a Kermu. What is a Kermu? I knew there's a Carix with the YX. Uh, Let me see here. Hold on. Gotta make room for my keyboard. What was the name of that one again? Kermu? Don't think I'm familiar with it. Let me see. Ah, cannot type today. Kermu. Oh, I do not have that. One of the main reasons I probably don't have that is they probably don't make a full titanium version, and I'm not a big fan of carbon fiber. Kermu. Yeah. They don't have a full titanium one, so that's probably why I don't know what it is. Um, I do like the, is it the Carricks? Um, I like that one. I'm probably going to try to get one of those from him. And then, and I actually like this is the original. I kind of like the black and white carbon fiber, okay. Not as much as just the plain tie one. I'm just a plain tie guy. And then there's a couple more that I like too. Um, the let's see, there's the Nagain. Let's see. There's the Gladiator. There's the Arma. There's the Vane. I want to go back and get some of the ones before they change their name too. I wish the Dromos came in a different pattern. I would get one of those. Um, there's the Get On, yeah, the 359. $10 extra for the DLC. There's the Moyarl. I think the Kermu was another one. No, that's the one we just talked about. Duh. Having a brain fart this morning. There's the Miro. Yeah, it's showing 215. There's the Ekri. I've got that one. Centurion. There's the Acri. I've got that one. The other one, I think it wasn't the Valona, but it might have been. I say it wasn't. Do they make a titanium? There's the Glear. Uh, I'm going to eventually change the color on that blue one back to pro. Oh, this is it right here. The Karaki 2 was the other one that I wanted. Can't see if you were talking in the chat. Sorry. Did you see the price on the Moyarl as we were going through? Or you need me to go back? Um, this one doesn't have the flipper, isn't as aggressive as the Miro uh, when it's closed. The Miro has a very pointy flipper. The Moyarl was, I believe, 205 maybe or something. Let's see. The titanium one, 209. Super cool knife though. Super cool blade grind. Everything about it's cool. JD, if you want to save $100, grab one of these that we're looking at. If you're still around. Oh, how much is it through my guy? It would be 209 times 0.75, whatever that is. Calc 209 times 0.75, 156. It would probably be 160. It would save you $50, which is pretty good on a $200 knife. So, yeah, 160, I bet. I can ask him and find out. I'm not sure if he has any of those. Yeah, I'm sure he does. If he doesn't, he can get one from Sam. He talks to Sam all the time. He actually, okay, Sever 7. We'll get together and make that happen. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, he's actually using Megaron as an OEM for a few knives that he's designed. So that's his relationship with Sam. So he's got a pretty good relationship. And I put the wrong knife up. I put the regular Arma in here. Uh, so yeah, that's why he gets such a good, and he runs a knife shop where he's a Migron authorized dealer. And he doesn't charge tax, and he didn't charge me shipping either, which was pretty cool. Um, I'm not sure if that's an always thing, but shipping's not much, $5 or $6 if you use pirate ship. Um, put some of these back up where they go. Oh, this one doesn't have a home yet. Actually, it does. There's a slot. I left 3 slots open in that case next to my Megaron collection because I knew I'd be getting more. So that one goes right in. And if y'all do make cases, make you some cheat sheets. So on this one, this is in my case. So if I want to ever go grab a knife, so these first 2 rows are all Kaisers. These are all titanium Kaisers. And then my Kaisers continued over here. Then I had all my Migrons lined up here. So I've got the Arma, the Prayer, the Gladiator, the Gleer, the Vane, the Morial, the Ekri, the Acri, and the Kovob. And now I just put the Miro right there. So I will re-enter that on my sheet. And then against the back, I have all my titanium Kubies. So I've got the Supercell, the Hyperion, the Atlas, the Royal, the Blackout, the Silo. I've got 2 different Titius, Titius, whatever. I've got 2 of those. One, got the Interflow, the Vera, I think I typed that wrong. No, Veragero, the Veloce, the Monster Dog, the Nova, and the Nova. Why do I have 2? That's not true. What? There's not 2 Novas back there. This is not a Nova, so I've got that's a typo. Do we know what that's a Nova? The Nova's a cool Kubi. Um, it's hard to find the strop point version. Most people bought the Tanto. And I hate this tiger stripe. I don't know why I've not taken the anodization off of this and just made it silver. We could wink that right off. Um, but anyway, that's the Bravo 1. That's a cool Kubi. Like I said, it's a discontinued model, and the drop point is hard to find. It's easy to find the Tantos. But I don't remember. Oh, this is the Nova. This is the Bravo 1, so that's where my typo was on my sheet there. But yeah, if you get any cases, make you some cheat sheets like that. Helps keep up with your knives. I've got a I've got the other one for my big 90 knife case, and it's full all except for 1 slot. Um, and it has oh, since I got these 2 new Migrons, this other case right here is completely full now because I got 3 more Migrons yesterday, so they will line up right next to those, and in this case is full. So I hope they fit in the case, being as big as they are. Um, Bridgeport was a cool, and then I got the 3 Migron boxes there. Today I'm getting another Shamwari, another Hilberg Shamwari. There was something I wanted to show y'all. Cannot remember what it was. I was driving home. Oh, maybe I was going to show you the internal milling instead of taking the knife apart. Um, not sure about that. Let me put my Kunwu back up. All right. I think I'm going to call it short today, guys. Oh, something else I want to talk about. What do y'all think about the post office shutting down shipping from China and Hong Kong? So I'm not sure if y'all are familiar with that news story, but the USPS, as of as of today, has stopped shipping from China. So, I don't know why I said, I swear I can't type this morning. So, right here, uh, look, it says they restored it already. I told people it wouldn't last very long because they couldn't deal with the backup. Okay, well, there's the latest update of that story. So, as of midnight or so, maybe even before, they had suspended packages coming in from China and Hong Kong. And it looks like I knew that they were going to have the backup of millions of packages, so they couldn't have it very long. So that's cool. So everybody can quit freaking out about that. I had mentioned on Reddit that people would have to start doing like I did and buy knives like that Bridgeport from people who have already had them OEM'd in China and have a supply of them until they run out. But I knew they couldn't keep it around very long. I mean, keep the suspended. Yeah, I actually canceled 3 orders last night of 4 knives that I can reorder. They were waiting to ship after Chinese New Year anyway, um, and I didn't want to I didn't want to risk just that money sitting around waiting. They were actually. Let's see if I can show you which ones I canceled here real quick. Um, it was it was the third Squirrel Master that I showed yesterday, the one with the big blade that he just came out with. Um, and then there was a couple of inexpensive knives that I wanted to try. Let's see if I can find those orders. So I canceled this um, the new Squirrel Master that the one with the big blade. There you go. I canceled that one. I've got the other two that he's made so far. Yeah, I want to get the price on that knife right now. I've got to get one at that price. I think they were down to like 280 or something. Uh, I canceled that one, and then I canceled. Um, oh wow, I didn't mean. I shouldn't have canceled that one. Dang it. That's all right. I'll reorder it. And then I wanted to try the Deca that Lemifshi came out with. I've been wanting a Deca for a while now, so I wanted to try the $22 Deca, the Hogue Deca. Uh, I don't know if y'all are familiar with that knife, but I thought for $22, why not try one, see how it feels? And then I canceled. Somebody recommended that said the best version of the bug out that they had gotten was this gray, the gray version with the green pivot. I mean the green thumb screw. And it's another cheap one that was $22. And I've got like 7 different versions of that already, so I was just going to get that one to see how it compared. And then the last one I canceled. I guess that was it. Yeah, that was 4 knives. I actually canceled the second version. This is the best knife I've gotten recently. Is the Lemifshi, this knife right here. Um, that's the best one I've gotten from China recently. And I bought the drop point one because I'm a drop point guy. But I had ordered the Tanto, so I canceled it last night. So I will buy another one. Um, for $80 knives, that's the best one you can get right now. Action on it is superb. I'm also starting to build some watches, so I've been buying all the watch building parts and hands and movements and presses and had a little watch cleaning and stuff. I've been buying a bunch of watch stuff. I'm going to get back into watches for a while. Uh, yeah. Anyway, uh, hope y'all have a great day. I'm looking forward to tomorrow doing the stone washing and acid washing. Uh, we will. I will pick some exciting knives to do that with. No, actually, I won't. I'll figure out something that'll look cool with stone wash. But it'll probably just be just a common knife that we all can afford or have. Um, oh, I should do a live stream of watch building. Yeah, so you can build watches for around $100 that are super cool with real Mayoto movements in them. Um, you can build some really nice Seikos and some Rolex replicas for around $100 that are really nice. Uh, yeah, that'd be a cool live stream to do. I know guys that are into knives also get into watches sometimes, so I might do that. It's a good idea. Appreciate the ideas. I need ideas. I run out of ideas. It's hard talking for an hour and a half every day, but not really. So far, it hasn't been. I think we've done a good job. I think y'all have done a good job of helping keep the conversations going and telling me about new knives, and I really appreciate that. You'll watch me do it. That's funny. One thing I wanted to say is after if I make it to 30 live videos in a row, which I'm gonna try to, I'm gonna do a knife giveaway or two. I don't know. I'll probably give away a couple, but all you have to do to be eligible for that win is just comment in the chat during a live video. So I'm gonna go back through and write down all the names. Yeah, I'd like to test the Discord audio again. I think we had an echo on the last one, and I think that's because everybody that was in there had their video playing back through the. I don't think they had a headphones on, or I think their audio source was audible by their microphone. So when they spoke into it, it kind of gave a little double. But mine didn't, so that's why I think that theirs had to be that. But I think the Discord audio is working now, so I think anybody that joins in on the Discord voice, we can broadcast it to the channel. So I would like to do that with a big group of people one day. Uh, yeah, because I've got where I can add all kinds of stuff in now through OBS. And I'm just gonna go to one of those random winner picker things. I'm gonna put everybody's name in it, and you can uh, YouTube comments, random YouTube random comment picker giveaway winner. I'm going to use this right here, however you do it. So yeah, so I will add all people's names in, and I will let it do the random drawing. I will pick a couple of names. But like I said, all you have to do to be entered is just have commented at all on one of the live videos. So you're definitely entered. You're only going to get one entry if you've commented. You're not going to get an entry for every comment, but I just wanted to some way to have some people motivated to join us and make new knife friends in here in the mornings. So I thought for this last 10 days, since today is number 20, uh, I posted it on Reddit last night to let some people know. So hopefully people will join us and comment. We already had a new one today. Anyway, hour and 25 minutes, about all I can do today. Today is my day off, so I'm wanting to enjoy it. Uh, I appreciate y'all being here with me today. I just released, when the video started, the unboxing and review of the Bridgeport just went out, and I've already recorded the one for the Miro. I just haven't put it out yet. And then I've got like 6 or 7 more knives I'm going to try to get done today, unboxings that'll be coming out within the next few days. And I will see y'all tomorrow morning with some acid and stone washing. So y'all have a good one.